people of the interwebs. Today I'm going to be showing you my complete N-scale locomotive collection. So sit down, relax, and, crack a cold one or something. So let's start from the year 2014, the year of the Lego movie and a bunch of other fun stuff. This was the engine that started it all, a Kato F3, unnumbered, and with Rapido style couplers, which is fine. Very reliable, and I would never sell this engine because it was the one that started it all. Next up is the year 2015. This is when the collection started to really kind of spike. So I got this Tuscan Red GG1, which I used to call Tucson Red because, I don't know, I just thought that's how you pronounced it. One thing I did is, so the way it works, the trucks, there's a little drive shaft that connects to the motor. But what I did is I was very naughty and I would pull the trucks out and I lost the little drive shaft, and who knows where that is, but basically this thing was out of commission for a very long time, like 1.5 to 2 years. But eventually, Dad and I tracked down the part and it works, and now it works again. Next engine I got, engine number 3. And this doesn't have the hairy chest because first is the worst, second is the best, and all that. Terrible joke, sorry. But I got this UP Heritage engine because the paint job is so cool. I don't know, I just really like this paint job, and one day I might get maybe 2 more. I'm hoping to maybe one day get the Katie and maybe the Mopac Heritage engines, maybe when I'm older. The last engine I got in 6th grade is this BNSF Givo. Very nice paint job, like the swoosh logo. And I've seen these engines like this all the time. The thing is, how can you tell the difference between a -9 and an ES44? I can never tell the difference. And then I got this engine in the summer of 2015 when I went off to summer camp as a Boy Scout. I went to Camp Hale in Oklahoma, and this was waiting for me when I returned. Our steam engine. And then my first big steam engine is this Bachmann Santa Fe Northern. It lost its front pilot truck. Well, not the pilot truck, the little cow catcher. Because, me and my dad, we've tried to fix this several times, and he didn't know how to fix it, but somehow I was able to fix it. I took the shell off, I loosened a few screws, I let it run a few times. I went from about 11 p.m. one night till about 2 a.m. the next morning fixing this engine, and it was worth it because this thing runs like an absolute champ. It's very reliable now, and usually these things are kind of notorious for being pretty terrible engines. Next up, into 7th grade is this Kato NW2. This is my second switcher engine, and I just thought I'd make a nice addition to the collection. Very nice paint job. And then another engine I got is this Kato ST70 Mac in Conrail colors. Conrail locomotives have really cool paint jobs. I'm not crazy about the railroad, I just like the paint job. And I got this because MAC happened to be my initials. And then the last engine I got, which was for Christmas of that year, is this Southern 10-wheeler. And there was an issue with the front truck, and so we had to send it back to Bachmann, and eventually it was replaced. But, technically this should go further down, but this is the first year. This was the original year I got it, so I figured it would go there. And technically, this is supposed to go in 2015, but I had a bit of a brain fart, so just saying on 2016. But this was the last engine I got in 2015 or 2016, I'm not really sure. But it's a very nice Amtrak Genesis locomotive. Really like Phase 3 paint scheme. And then 2016 began. Technically I got this engine first, and the reason why it's boxed up is because when I was taking it to my local train store to run, I was very, I rushed packaging it up, and I basically rendered it inoperable. I mean, it does still run, but the little side rods were popped off, and I feel really stupid for doing that. One day, I'll fix this beauty. One day. One day. This engine was a surprise from my mom because I've been working so hard, you know, in 7th grade, and she got me this New Haven 060. Nice little engine, very reliable. And then I got this Bachmann Santa Fe GP50, and believe it or not, this could have been my second locomotive in my collection because I actually looked at this around the same time I got my first engine. However, I am thinking of actually selling this locomotive, mostly because it's not that it's a poor runner or anything, I'm just not really attracted to it anymore, but the story behind this, like with my UP 060, is this was sort of part of a bit of a, what I call the summer camp care package. And, you know, I ordered this along with a bunch of other stuff in N scale, and this was waiting for me. So, you know, this was a very nice engine, but I'm just not really attracted to the GP50 that much. Might sell it, might not sure. But I was working on an eBay listing. And then this was the engine I got after completing the swimming merit badge, this UP482 Mountain. A very nice engine. Bit of a underwhelming Polar, although it might just need a bit of a tune-up. I need to figure out how to maintain these engines properly. And then we come to Christmas. So this NS Heritage locomotive, the Wabash, was in my stocking, and you know, it's a very nice engine. I just don't run it that much. Might put it to a trade one day. Not sure. Next engine I got is this beautiful Bachmann 611. A very handsome locomotive and a really good Polar. I'd love to one day get some NEW coaches, but I usually just have it pull my PRR coaches because, well, they're close enough. The next engine I got is this Bachmann 280 Consolidation, and you know, it's a really nice locomotive, and this is the perfect size for my layout because it's not really big. And I last year I converted the couplers to Kato knuckle couplers, so it won't need a transfer car anymore. I mostly got this engine because a friend of mine in my model railroad club had a bunch of these on his layout, so I kind of wanted one. Very nice engine. If you ever want a good Bachmann steam engine, get a Consolidation. And I got my first two twin locomotives. Two Rock Island F2As, and they're really sharp looking, and if you want to expand your fleet quickly, try and buy Kato locomotive sets if you can. And now we come to the year of 2017, the year I started high school, the year of Transformers The Last Night, and a bunch of other interesting things, you know, going on in the world. Here we have my Bachmann Sound Value K4. My dad really likes this engine, and so do I. I keep it boxed up because I don't want to mess up the decoder. And, you know, this was kind of the year I didn't really get a lot of locomotives for whatever reason. I got this F7 set, an A and a B unit. The paint job is really nice, and I do, for some reason, I like running both my Northern Pacific and my Rock Island F units together, if possible. And then we got probably my favorite steam engine, although that might be different in just a minute. This GS4 Daylight. I remember, you know, just falling in love with this engine when I saw it in I Love Toy Trains, and I even own a Pen Trucks DVD where it double-headed with the 844. Great runner, great Polar, great detail, just, you can never go wrong with Kato. I just wish they made more steam engines. And then we come to 2018. So, You know, this is my second semester of high school, and this is where the collection started to explode again. So, the first engine I got that year is this Santa Fe GP35. This is the first engine I ever bought with my own money. I had saved up. All the locomotives previous were either gifts for doing well in school or Christmas presents. It is a very nice engine, very reliable. Very good for a small layout. Next is this Rio Grande GP35. I broke the horn off. Feel really dumb for doing that. Still runs fine, but the motor is a bit noisy. Might take it in for maintenance, possibly. Next is this Bachmann GP40, and this is actually a really, really good Bachmann diesel. Like, seriously, this is fantastic. I like the MKT paint scheme. It just looks really cool. It's also a really good runner, too. This was a surprise for my mom because I got both of these locomotives at a train show in, I think it was Austin. And then we have a locomotive that has a bit of a story behind it, and it is this Atlas unlettered 2-truck Shay. And so basically, this was sort of my reward after going through Spanish 2 in summer school, which is a bit of a fun story, quote unquote. But there's a bit of a stressful story behind this engine, and it kind of put Atlas on a bit of thin ice for me. So I bought my parents bought the engine, and, you know, I put it through its, test run, and it worked fine, and then I started running it, and then it just died for some reason, and I was like, okay, what just happened? So first I tried pushing it, I unplugged my power source, and I was like, what on earth is going on? And then I tested it with another locomotive, and there's like something wrong with the motor, so we sent this back, and I got another one, but now I'm a bit hesitant to get Atlas locomotives because, like, this is kind of annoying because when you pay like a ton of money for a locomotive, you expect it to work. Nonetheless, this is a nice locomotive and a great yard locomotive for me. And then I bought some more used locomotives at a train show in New Braunfels. This is a old made in Hong Kong Bachmann Northern. This is probably going to be a part donor, as I don't know how on earth to restore it, or if I'm even doing it right. This is just going to be a part donor. And then we have another engine I'm thinking of selling. This is a old MRC RSD-15. You know, it was made in Yugoslavia, which makes this the oldest locomotive in my collection in terms of when it was made, because Yugoslavia doesn't exist anymore. It's not a country anymore. So I got these in a train show, and I still regret paying $35 for pieces of crap. Well, actually, I think I paid like $40-something for locos that don't really work. But then I got this locomotive, and this is probably one of my favorite paint jobs on any diesel ever. This is a Great Northern SD45 Hustle Muscle. I recently restored this because the motor was squeaking. Turns out there was an issue with the bearings, and there's a special blue fluid, so I just need to find bearing lubricant next time I go to a train show. And then Christmas of 2018, I got this Santa Fe EMD SDP40F, and probably my favorite engine tied with my Daylight. This is the UP844. This is a beautiful engine and can fit in just about any layout depending on your size and stuff. Just a beautiful engine, very handsome, and looks good pulling either freight or coaches. Like, seriously, if you want a steam engine, get the A44 if you can. And then 2019, the year this whole virus began. Well, not quite. So I got my second used locomotive, or probably like my fifth. This was the first engine I ever bought out of state. I got this at a train show in Florida. This is a Lifelike GP20, and I got this for a little over $30. And Lifelike makes really good locomotives, actually. Like, seriously, you know, this runs great, it looks great. The only issue is the open trucks where the gears are visible, but that's no big deal. Provided you keep your layout clean, great detail, and it's a really nice yard locomotive, and sometimes I will double head this with my Santa Fe GP35. The next engine I got before Christmas, this was a surprise after I got my Eagle Scout. This is the George Bush 4141, and this is one of the few engines I've actually seen in person. I got to see this when I saw 4014 in Houston at the Amtrak station. Beautiful engine, and definitely one I'm going to keep for a very long time. Probably forever. And then we come to the 4 engines I got for Christmas. So, first I got this E9. Very long locomotive, very nice. Showed this in an old layout update. Runs really well. I'm actually a big fan of E units, like seriously. Maybe one day I'll track down some more one day. And I got my first then I got a Santa Fe PA, Alco PA. This is in the gold bonnet scheme. And I kind of bought this because I thought it was going to become rare and collectible. And it probably will. This is a very unique locomotive, as it's one of the few. This is actually the only engine I have that's painted gold. And it's also kind of heavy. It's a bit heavier than I thought. Beautiful engine, and I got some coaches for it to pull in Santa Fe colors. And then I bought another engine. Well, I got another engine for Christmas. This is a ES44, the UP ES44, and I love the UP diesels with the American flag because, you know, the flag is beautiful and it looks really nice on this locomotive. Even though I'm not really attracted to the Union Pacific paint scheme, I do still think, you know, when they have the flag, it looks really cool. And the next one was a surprise from my mom. This is the Spirit of the Union Pacific locomotive. I actually have this on a shirt, but this engine is quite unique. It's one of the few engines I have that has a decoder in it. And speaking of engines with the decoder, I almost forgot, this SD45 I showed you has a decoder in it, which is kind of wild. And I got this for a trade. So this engine runs really well, and unlike my K4, if I run this on my layout, it won't mess up the decoder. Just a really nice, really beautiful engine. And now we come to 2020. The year that almost made everyone lose their minds. So this is kind of when the collection sort of slowed down because, well, I wasn't really interested in buying locomotives as much. But I got this one for my 18th birthday. This is a BNSF SD70, making it, I think, my 6th SD70 locomotive. It is a very nice paint scheme. I really like the swoosh. And the SD70s always look really cool to me. They do look a little weird, but they are still nice. And then I got my first pre-order, a Bachmann and Scale Thomas. It's Thomas, man. Don't really mind the CGI face. It actually doesn't really look like CGI. It looks like a late hit entertainment face. He can't really pull anything because he's very light. But I got him because, well, my near 4-year-old demanded it. And then the next engine I got is this Kato Brunswick Green GG1. And this was to complement my Tuscan Red GG1, and funnily enough, it had been 5 years since I got my Tuscan Red GG1, so that's kind of cool. And then another engine I got, which was a surprise, is my Bachmann and Scale Percy. I hope to get some mail cars for him because, well, that's what he's known for, and the less said about the new Thomas reboot, the better, because I think they massacred my boy. But that's not the subject of this video. And now we come to 2021, and this is all I've gone. So we have two lifelike engines, and These were actually a surprise from the guy I did my internship with, and he had a bag of N-scale stuff he had no use for. And first up is this old lifelike F7, which still works and is also quite heavy. I think it has brass wheels, but this is a good runner, and you know, if I maintain it well, it's going to last a very long time. Here we have my here we have a lifelike N-scale Porter type tank engine. This doesn't work. I need to find some lubrication, and I still need to test it properly. This thing is just kind of problematic, and if I can't restore this properly, I'll probably turn it into a part donor. But it is still a nice engine nonetheless. And it's kind of funny. I started this whole video with my Kato Santa Fe F3, and then I finished it with a lifelike Santa Fe steam engine. Start with Santa Fe, and it was Santa Fe. That's kind of unique. So I guess that about wraps it up. And to conclude this video, I will be finishing the video with a complete just overview of all the locomotives.